You're waiting in line at the grocery store, making small talk with the cashier, when suddenly, out of nowhere, you feel it. That all too familiar, unwelcome warmth. It's not sweat. It's not anxiety. It's exactly what you're thinking. And there it is again. Now you're too mortified to say a word. All you want is to rush home and change. If that sounds painfully recognizable, you're far from alone. Millions of women over 60 are quietly dealing with the same frustrating issue. Sudden urinary leaks with no warning. And no, it's not just a normal consequence of getting older. Doctors are very clear. While aging can contribute, certain everyday habits are making things significantly worse. And here's the truth. Some of them might surprise you. Let's begin with the number one hidden habit most women never give a second thought: holding your pee for too long. Maybe you're caught up in a favorite show, stuck in traffic, or busy looking after the grandkids, so you tell yourself, "I'll wait." But that waiting puts genuine strain on your bladder muscles. It's like overfilling a water balloon day after day. Eventually, it weakens and starts leaking. Doctors recommend emptying your bladder every 2 to 4 hours to avoid unnecessary pressure that leads to those dreaded accidents. Now let's talk coffee. I know, don't blame the messenger. That comforting morning cup, the afternoon boost, maybe even an evening decaf. Coffee feels almost sacred, but caffeine is both a diuretic and a bladder irritant. It makes your kidneys produce more urine while also irritating your bladder's lining. That's a double blow when it comes to leaks. Cutting back or switching to non-caffeinated options like herbal teas can make a huge difference. You don't have to quit all at once, but going from 3 cups down to 1 could save you from a lot of awkward moments. Habit number 3 might sound harmless, even healthy: drinking too much water. Wait, what? Isn't hydration good? Absolutely. But there's a difference between staying hydrated and constantly sipping all day out of fear of dehydration. If you're flooding your bladder with more water than it needs, you're giving it no choice but to keep emptying. A good guideline is 8 glasses a day, spread out sensibly, not downing 2 glasses right before bed, because then you're not just leaking during the day. You're waking up to damp sheets and broken sleep. Now here's one that might really hit home: avoiding exercise because you're afraid of leaks. The irony stings. You skip walking, yoga, or even light aerobics because movement might trigger a leak. But skipping that movement weakens the very muscles you need to prevent leaks, especially those pelvic floor muscles. They need gentle, regular strengthening, and no, you don't have to join a gym or wear spandex. Even 10 minutes of Kegel exercises each day can help you regain bladder control. It's free, it's private, and no one even knows you're doing them. Let's not ignore the elephant in the room: extra weight. Carrying just a few extra pounds puts added pressure on your bladder. It's like someone sitting on a balloon that's already full. Doctors say that even a small weight loss, just 5 to 10 pounds, can significantly reduce leakage. This isn't about appearance, it's about relief. And the best part is that the same simple changes that help with weight, like walking more and cutting back on processed foods, also improve bladder control. That's a double win. Number 6 is something no one ever talks about, but it matters: chronic constipation. Yep, your gut and your bladder are closer friends than you think. When your bowels are backed up, they press against the bladder and make leaks more likely. It's uncomfortable in more ways than one. Eating more fiber, drinking enough water, yes, the right amount, and staying active all support regular bowel movements. It's not glamorous, but it works. Now, this next habit might surprise you, especially if you take pride in keeping things clean: overusing scented hygiene products. Scented pads, wipes, sprays, and soaps can irritate the sensitive skin around your urethra and bladder. That irritation makes the area more prone to infections and inflammation, both of which increase urgency and leaks. Doctors recommend using plain, unscented products down there. Your bladder doesn't want perfume, it wants peace. And finally, the one most women never question, ignoring the first signs and thinking, oh, it's just part of getting old. That mindset keeps women silent, embarrassed, and stuck. The truth is, early leaks are your body's way of waving a flag. It's not scolding you, it's asking for help. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to regain control. But when caught early and with the right lifestyle changes, many women see massive improvement. Some even stop leaking altogether. So what do you do now? Well, don't panic, don't be ashamed, start with one habit, just one. Maybe today it's cutting back that second cup of coffee. Maybe tomorrow it's trying a few gentle pelvic floor exercises before bed. Change isn't about perfection. It's about progress. And progress starts the moment you decide to stop suffering in silence. You've made it this far, so here's the bonus no one tells you. Fixing these habits doesn't just help your bladder. It gives you back your confidence. You stop worrying about where the next bathroom is. You stop declining invitations. You stop living small out of fear. You get to laugh without crossing your legs. You get to sneeze without bracing yourself. That's freedom, and freedom's worth a few changes. Don't you think you've made it through the tough part, acknowledging what's going wrong? Now let's get into what you can actually do about it. Because once you stop brushing it off as just aging and start making small, smart changes, your body starts responding in ways you didn't think were possible at this stage of life. First up in part 2, let's talk about stress. Not the kind that comes from forgetting where you put your keys. I mean the slow, creeping kind that lives in your shoulders, sits in your gut, and tightens your jaw. Chronic stress causes a spike in cortisol and other hormones that mess with your entire system, including your bladder. Some women experience more leaks during stressful periods, not because their bladder changed, but because their nervous system is on overdrive. Stress tightens muscles in all the wrong places and throws your pelvic floor out of rhythm, so learning to relax isn't just for your mental health. It's bladder therapy too. Try deep breathing, journaling, or even short nature walks. Your bladder will thank you. Now here's another curveball: medications. A lot of prescriptions taken for blood pressure, anxiety, or even allergies have a side effect of bladder dysfunction. Diuretics, for example, literally force your body to release fluid, which increases urgency. Others interfere with the signals between your bladder and brain, making you feel like you need to go when you don't, or worse, not realizing you need to go until it's too late. That's why it's crucial to talk to your doctor, not just about what you're taking, but about how it's affecting your bladder. You're not being difficult, you're being smart. There are often alternatives or timing adjustments that can make all the difference. And what about alcohol? We don't like to hear it, but even one glass of wine in the evening can lead to more leaks at night. Alcohol is a bladder stimulant and a muscle relaxant. That's a dangerous combo when you're trying to hold things in. The bladder gets irritable, the sphincter gets lazy, and suddenly you're waking up soaked. If you notice your accidents increase after a drink, that's your cue. You don't have to quit entirely, but you might want to reconsider that nightly pour and opt for a calming tea instead. Let's pivot to something you might not even realize you're doing: power peeing. That's when you rush through urination by forcing it out quickly. Maybe you're trying to finish before the kettle whistles or your phone rings, but that strain puts pressure on your pelvic floor muscles, weakening them over time. Doctors say the best way to pee is to sit fully. Relax your belly and let your body empty at its own pace. Sounds simple, but it's a habit worth breaking. Your bladder needs cooperation, not a stopwatch. Okay, let's tackle the elephant in the dressing room: tight clothing. Waistbands, shapewear, even high, Wasted genes can compress your abdomen and bladder, especially if they're snug. That pressure may feel like it's holding everything together, but it's actually pressing everything downward. Your bladder has less space to expand, which makes leaks more likely. The fix: looser, more forgiving waistlines and breathable fabrics. Comfort isn't just a luxury anymore. It's a strategy. Now, this one might sting: skipping your doctor's appointments. If you haven't seen a gynecologist or urologist in over a year, it's time. Leakage isn't always about habits. Sometimes it's related to conditions like urinary tract infections, pelvic organ prolapse, or even changes due to menopause that can be treated directly. One quick exam could reveal a fix you didn't know existed. And no, you're not wasting anyone's time. Incontinence is one of the most underreported issues in women over 60. Your voice matters. Let's shift to what you're eating. Spicy foods, citrus fruits, tomatoes, artificial sweeteners, these can all irritate the bladder lining. For some women, a slice of pizza or a glass of orange juice is all it takes to set things off. Start paying attention to what you eat and when leaks happen. A food journal might seem old school, but it works. Once you find your personal triggers, you can adjust your meals without guessing. And finally, the secret weapon every doctor quietly recommends: bladder training. This isn't punishment, it's gentle discipline. If you're rushing to the bathroom every 20 minutes, your bladder has learned to signal urgency even when it's barely full. Bladder training involves gradually extending the time between bathroom visits. You start with what's manageable, maybe 45 minutes, and work up in 10 to 15-minute intervals. It sounds small, but the results can be life-changing. Over time, your bladder gets stronger, and those urgent feelings stop running your life. Let's bring it home. You've learned a lot in these 2-0 words. And if it feels like too much, just remember, you don't have to fix everything at once. You only need to begin. Pick one habit, just one, and work on it this week, then move on to the next. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And every dry hour, every dry night, every moment of confidence you get back is worth celebrating. Because you deserve to laugh without fear. You deserve to dance at weddings and take road trips without mapping every rest stop. You deserve to feel like yourself again, and you're not alone on this journey. If this video helped even a little, consider subscribing, not because it boosts a number, but because this channel is your space. A space where aging doesn't mean surrender, a space for strength, humor, and dignity at every stage. And hey, if you've got a tip or trick that worked for you, drop it in the comments. Share your city too. Let's remind each other we're in this together. And the next time someone says aging means leaking, you'll smile because you'll know better.